I believe I will be involved in very important exhibitions, hopefully in the next 5 years' time to come around the world. I want to believe before the next 5 years to come, I would have been able to create more interesting pieces than the ones I have today. Any other thing that comes out of creating those beautiful pieces that is going to make the world a better place is left to the people who are receiving the work. So whatever they do, if they receive it well and if they appreciate it well, it may go beyond what I am expecting. But for now, I can say, yeah, being part of important exhibitions, creating more interesting pieces and all of that is what I can do, which are the things I can control within my own power.
I met a friend on Facebook, a Zambian precisely, so we talked about migration, that's me coming over to Zambia for a good job. So I was into fumigation and clothes selling, mobile sales before I left. So when the thought came of relocating to Zambia, when I checked the economy of both countries, I found out that Zambia, though small, but their currency is quite better than Nigeria. Applied for visa, my visa was granted, I purchased my tickets, and then I left. I flew through Kenya Airline. That was on the 1st of June. I arrived Zambia on the 2nd. And then I called this my friend, and I told him I'm in Zambia. So where I was, he moved me to another lodge, a hotel. And that was where I was assaulted by him. He was even dragging my passport. He wanted to get my passport, my yellow fever vaccine card. But because I hid it very far, he couldn't get access to it. He tore my bag, went away with my BTA. It's $885. And then I didn't see him. He absconded. When he left, he didn't pay the hotel bills. He had gone with my money. I couldn't find my money in my luggage. So when I noticed that things were not what we actually planned, I had to become friends with a gardener boy in that hotel. So that previous night, I was asked to move out of the hotel because he didn't pay the bills. But I noticed that he and the receptionist were in good accordance, So I tried asking the receptionist, did that man tell you he was going to come back? He said no, and he's going for a night, that I can't stay in that hotel. So they had to seize my luggage, seize my properties. I had to look for where to sleep. So that fateful night, I slept in an abandoned vehicle where I was almost gang raped by 3 guys. I had to start this Nigerian movie. I'm with HIV, I'm with this, I'm with that, So you want to, sleep with me and all that. So they made away with my travel documents, my return tickets and all that. They thought it was an envelope of money. So they went with it after tearing my jean and all that. But they couldn't have access because I started shouting. That was around 3 o'clock in the morning. I started shouting, creating scenes, so they ran away. When you leave Nigeria and, I left genuinely, but what I proposed wasn't what I got. So it was while I was in Zambia I discovered I was human trafficked. So it's real. When you go, you come back, you're alive, you just say, God, I thank you, and you pick up the pieces of your life and start all over.
Ce que je peux dire à la jeunesse africaine, c'est que la première échec, c'est la peur de s'engager. Le plus important, c'est de pouvoir démarrer, commencer une activité en partant de rien et avec ce qu'ils ont. j'ai démarré cette entreprise avec 60 000 francs CFA. J'ai fait l'aide maçon sur des chantiers. J'ai vendu des ignames au marché. J'ai géré des cabines téléphoniques parce que j'avais une vision, parce que je voulais créer mon business moi-même et avec ce que j'avais. Bonjour, je suis Ben Aziz Konaté, j'ai 23 ans et je viens de la Côte d'Ivoire. Je suis le manager de l'entreprise Volaille d'Or et je suis là pour dire que ça commence par toi. Nous avons tendance à penser que la terre c'est fait pour les pauvres. Et les jeunes africains n'ont pas de grande vision. Et le plus important pour nous, c'est de leur donner cette vision-là, de leur permettre d'avoir des modèles et des repères et leur montrer que c'est possible de réussir en agriculture. Les jeunes africains reçoivent en général comme éducation de faire l'école et de travailler dans un bureau. Nous avions eu tous cette mentalité-là dans le passé. Et après avons compris que, moi j'explique aux jeunes que nous voulons travailler dans un bureau, mais ce que nous ne savons pas, c'est que nous pouvons nous-mêmes créer ce bureau-là. Moi, je me suis formé sur la toile. Je suis allé voir des fermiers, j'ai appris sur le terrain. Et c'est ça qui a été ma formation. Donc, c'est pour dire qu'ils ne doivent pas avoir peur de s'engager. La plus grande chose à faire, c'est d'avoir le courage de commencer. Donc, il était important pour moi de pouvoir créer moi-même mon propre emploi pour pouvoir être indépendant financièrement. Volaille d'Or, c'est une entreprise de production, transformation et distribution de produits agroalimentaires. Et nous avons démarré uniquement par les produits de la volaille. Nous livrons ces poulets-là frais. Ces produits sont abattus, emballés et livrés le même jour. J'ai commencé Volaille d'Or lorsque j'avais 18 ans, juste après le bac. Et
yeah, this is Shining Light TV station. We are not copywriting this program, but we are just using it to tell the story, you know. Because I'm going to be analyzing it later. So we are not copywriting you people. We are using it to tell the story.
Mon inspiration est venue du fait que j'ai suivi un reportage à la télévision qui disait que la Côte d'Ivoire continuait d'importer de la volaille. Et donc je me suis dit que pour résoudre ce problème, il fallait donc produire sur le territoire ivoirien, mais en même temps ça résolvait d'autres problèmes qui sont par exemple le problème de chômage des jeunes. Aujourd'hui, l'entreprise Volaille d'Or emploie de façon permanente 17 personnes et nous avons une dizaine de contractuels chaque mois. Donc c'est autour de 27 à 30 personnes qui sont impactées par cette entreprise. Il faut dire que grâce au travail que nous avons abattu, nous avons pu remporter plusieurs prix, notamment ici le prix du partenariat ivoirien pour la Business Plan Competition, également le prix Excellence du président de la République comme la meilleure jeune entreprise de Côte d'Ivoire en 2016. Donc c'est pour dire que ces prix-là ont permis à l'entreprise de pouvoir avoir une réelle visibilité et surtout le prix Anzicha nous a permis de pouvoir montrer l'impact que le jeune entrepreneur ivoirien, sinon africain, peut avoir sur la communauté africaine. J'estime que l'Afrique doit se nourrir par les Africains et non exporter des produits qui vont aller se faire transformer ailleurs et revenir plus cher. Donc l'investissement en Afrique revient à réduire le coût de la cherté même de la vie en Afrique, créer beaucoup d'emplois et permettre surtout aux jeunes d'avoir une meilleure vie en Afrique. La vision pour l'entreprise est de pouvoir couvrir le territoire ivoirien et de pouvoir nous installer dans les pays comme le Nigeria, comme le Bénin, le Ghana. Donc c'est une grande vision pour notre entreprise. Mais au-delà de cela, nous rêvons également d'avoir la première place ici. Donc Volaille d'Or a une très grande vision et travaille pour arriver à ses fins.
foreigners respect our culture than we in Nigeria. I'm telling you, there's money on this thing than the full oil they are talking about.
I'm very sorry to say that, unfortunately, we are killing our history by not exposing our children, by not showing them, by not celebrating our history.
A prophet is not appreciated in his own hometown, like they say. We have to do something about it to make us more aware of the beauty of our culture.
A lot of Nigerians don't know that this is the center of Nigeria. Somehow, we need to take what we have and sell it.
A lot of countries run on tourism. Look at Dubai. You go to Dubai and they take you to desert. Then you go and play with sand. I don't understand. While in Yobe here, we have those things. See, Nigeria is losing a lot.
This is a story of Nigeria that is hardly told. It's a celebration of her people, culture, and music. The world calls Nigeria the giant of Africa, but almost 200 million people call her home, thus making her the most populous country in Africa and the 7th most populous nation in the world. Nigeria is also Africa's biggest economy, ranking first in Africa in terms of agricultural output and 6th worldwide. Also, Nigeria is the largest producer of oil in Africa and the 11th largest in the world, with over 37.2 billion barrels of oil reserves. But is Nigeria really worth the hype? Can she be regarded as one of the most fascinating countries on the African continent with abundant human and material resources? Our journey to unravel Nigeria's rich culture first takes us to Kano, the 2nd largest city in Nigeria. In pre-colonial times, the Kingdom of Kano was an economic powerhouse. Traders were exporting goods like leather, quilted cotton, and dyed fabrics from Kano to northern African countries via camel caravans and then to Europe. In fact, what is popularly regarded as Moroccan leather were leatherworks by Kano craftsmen exported to Morocco through the Sahara Desert. Hausa at that time was the most widely spoken language in Africa after Swahili. Many centuries later, we've come to see if Kano's economic vibrancy still endures. Our first stop here is the biggest grain market in West Africa, located in Daonu, Kano State. The first thing that caught our eyes were the bags, hundreds of them. And in the bags are all kinds of grains like white rice, brown rice, white beans, soya beans, maize, millet, and several other crops. And it's said that you can find just any type of food here. Daonu Market was established 34 years ago, and in that time, they've established a reputation that keeps traders coming back.
Akwai bambance-bambance masu yawa tsakanin wannan kasuwar da sauran kasuwanni. Bambanci na farko shine kowace kasuwa da take kasar Najeriya idan ta siyo kaya ko an je an siyo kaya, ita wannan kasuwar tamu mai albarka ita ce kasuwar da ake kawo wannan kaya, domin ita ce kasuwar da ta fi kowace kasuwa daukar baki masu sayan kaya. Shi kuma buƙatar ɗan kasuwa shine idan ya siyo kayansa ya samu mai saya ko ya samu gurin da zai sai da kayansa da sauri.
Traders from other African countries and as far as Europe, Asia, and America come here to source for farm crops to be eaten as food or to be used for research. And the trade value of the markets runs into billions of naira every day.
In ka siyo, nan za ka kawo ka samu mai saya cikin kwanciyar hankali, yanzu za a saya, yanzu za a baka kuɗinka. Da wannan kwatanta gaskiya da 'yan kasuwar Duwano suke yana daga cikin matakin farko da ya kai wannan kasuwar matsayi da take a halin yanzu.
Kano was one of the major powers of sub-Saharan Africa, and not just for economic reasons. Kano has an age-long political history rooted in monarchy. From as far back as the 10th century, Hausa kings had been ruling independent states in Kano, debunking assertions that the people of Nigeria were uncivilized before colonization. To better understand our history, we're about to enter a time capsule to take us many centuries back. Welcome to National Museum Gidan Makama Kano, a place that holds answers to questions of the Kano civilization. In 1442, the 17th king of Kano, King Abdullahi Barja, built this structure as a residential complex for his grandson. When Barja's grandson later became a senior councillor in the king's palace, or Makamang Kano, the house came to be known as Gidan Makamang Kano, meaning House of the Senior Councillor.
When the British came in 1903, they conquered Kano and they took over Kano in 1903. And when they took over, having seen the historical significance of this house, it was declared as national monument in 1959. And it was divided into 3 parts. The first part was converted to a museum, declared open to public in 1985. And the second part was given to the Makaman Kano. And the last part of the house, they established an elementary school. Now, Gida Makama Girls Junior Secondary School.
Our visit here coincided with the excursion tour of Hanan International College. One of the teachers tells me the students are here because of the need to learn about the history of Nigeria and to better appreciate our identity.
I'm very sorry to say that, unfortunately, we are killing our history by not exposing our children, by not showing them, by not celebrating our history, by not, showcasing what we have. Look at history of 700 years, 800 years, 400 years. Look at this building that's been standing for over half a millennium. And it's still standing and it's magnificent. This is local indigenous technology, indigenous knowledge. So it's something that we really need to revive.
Since Gidan Makamang Kano became a museum 59 years ago in 1959, tourists from all over the world come here to see the wonders of ancient Kano, like weapons of war, royal attires for the Durbar festival, musical instruments, and even a vintage experience of what a traditional room in Kano looks like. Northern Nigeria is a thriving cultural center with practices subsisting many centuries on. An example of this is pottery, one of the oldest forms of art. At this pottery market in Kano, traders display an array of rainbow-colored pots that have not just an aesthetic appeal, but also a functional purpose. They are used as vessels to serve dishes or store water. Abdurrahim first mixes clay with sand, rolls it into a ball, glazes it with ash, and then molds it into his desired shape. He learns the art of pottery making from his parents, who learns from his grandparents. From his earnings as a pots maker, he has trained 13 of his children to university level.
Wato kamar wannan sana'a ta mu, za a ce na gaya ma wata ci gaba sosai, wayannan mutane daga ƙasa suna zuwa su saya, su tafi da shi su ma su yi sana'a su ci riba su sassayar ga jama'a. Kai wannan abun har Saudiya ake kai shi, a takaice kenan. Nan ba ta Maiduguri, Gombe, Kaduna, Bauchi, ina ne ga sanan da masu ko daga ina.
One of the reasons why pottery is so popular in northern Nigeria is that it has a unique cooling feature. Water stored in the pots becomes as cold as though it was refrigerated, making it an ideal choice for storing water in a region that's the hottest in Nigeria. After many days on the road, we arrived Lagos, the city that never sleeps. There are more people in Lagos than there are in Kano, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Aba, and Ibadan combined. It's a whopping 23 million people. Lagos is famous for being fast-paced and its residents regarded as street smart. A popular food here is agege bread. For millions of Nigerians, agege bread is a quick breakfast, a heavy lunch, and a late dinner. Agege bread is unique for its soft texture and delicious taste, but it's often unbranded. So we set out to trace the origin of agege bread, and we were led to factories in the Agege suburbs of Lagos. At this bakery, bakers work in a fast-paced environment, mixing flour and other ingredients, milling, scaling, molding it into shapes, leaving it to rise, and baking at a specific temperature. When the bread is ready, it's removed from the oven and is ready to be sold and eaten hot.
Agege bread in terms of quality, super. In terms of quantity, super. In terms of price, something. There's no problem.
Agege bread is a staple food. No bromate added to it. This is just simple and pure.
Gbogbo ayé ló fẹ́ràn bread agege àtẹwà gan-an. Bread wá dá púpọ̀ torí wípé kò ní bromate nínú.
Bread is not a traditional Nigerian food. So how did it become so popular in the country? Oyeyemi Shitu comes from a family of bread bakers. His father began selling bread made by foreigners who lived in Nigeria as far back as the 1960s, and he has since passed the business to his children and grandchildren. Having been in the business for decades, Shitu was in the perfect position to explain how Nigerians came to love agege bread.
European merchants, they are coming to the coastal areas, particularly Lagos, Calabar, Port Harcourt, etc. So that when they came with remnants of loaves of bread from the crew, from the Navy crew, from the ship. And when they came out, they brought some certain remnants out of the ship. And that is the beginning of tasting or having much knowledge about bread in Nigeria.
The bright sunshine of Nigeria makes me to believe that all over the world there's no place like Africa. For Nigeria is my home.
Another widely consumed food in Nigeria is yam. It's a versatile food that can be eaten fried, roasted, boiled, pounded, or grinded into flour and used to make a dish called amala. In southwest Nigeria, amala and ewedu soup has been watering mouths for centuries. To Nigeria's Yoruba-speaking tribes, amala and ewedu isn't just black dough and a slimy soup. It's a mark of their identity.
The food I like very much is amala, to be honest, because there's a special feeling when I'm making amala anyway, so it is just part of me. If you wake me up now that I should come and make amala, I'll just, yeah, let's do it.
As ewedu is to the southwest, is bitter leaf soup or olubu to the southeast. We have now trailed the scent of the local Igbo delicacy to Oraku, a village in Anambra State. Many people here grew up watching their parents plant and sell bitter leaves to earn a living, and today they do the same for their own families. Stanley is a bitter leaf farmer. He cultivates this 8 plot of land, and once it matures, he harvests it, soaks it, and takes it to the river where workers process the leaves the traditional way by squeezing hard to remove the bitter taste, a process that may last for hours.
This our business. This bitter leaf, we don't have season. It's not seasonal. It's only that during this, as we are in rainy season now, during this rainy season, the work is lesser. The work is lesser because you don't have to irrigate the farm. You don't have to water the farm. Rain fall constantly. But what makes it difference from the dry season is that during the dry season, you use your water pump, you use our pumping machine, yes, to pump water in the farm. But the work during that dry season, it pays more than this rainy season because that is when you get the fruit of your labor. All that you labor during this rainy season is during the dry season that you get your money back.
Bitter leaf soup is not only eaten as a delicacy among the Igbo-speaking tribes in Nigeria. Its extracts are also used to manufacture medicines, and the leaves are in high demand in international markets. Stanley says he exports as much as 100 buckets of bitter leaves per day to clients in the diaspora and can hardly keep up with the demand. Local dishes across Nigeria vary from region to region, with egusi, ogbono, owo, banga, edikaikong, afang, ewedu, oha, and bitterleaf soups being among the most popular. They are usually eaten with swallow, a local slang for the dough made usually of cassava or yam. 24 of Nigeria's 36 states cultivate cassava, making her the world's largest producer of the crop. And we have now come to Masaka in Nasarawa State to visit the markets famed for its abundant supply of yams and cassavas.
I use my cassava to produce akpu. This fufu. It's only Akwa Ibom people call it fufu, but many people call it akpu. So they use it to produce gari and abacha, and so on and so forth.
Every Thursday, cassava processors like Ike converge at Masaka Market to buy cassava off farmers. He owns a small gari processing factory where workers peel, wash, soak, and grind the cassava into a mash. The mash is then pressed hard to remove the raw starch, after which it's then sieved before the frying begins. The laborious process usually involves at least 10 persons working together to get the end product. But with a large market of gari eaters in the country, demand always outweighs supply.
No amount of gari you take to the market that you won't sell, because it's a food where the rich and the poor eat. You understand? But the challenge we are having is moving them to where the consumers are.
Just like bitter leaf, cassava is a multi-purpose crop. Every part of the plant, from the roots to the leaves, has both food and medicinal uses.